Welcome to all of you BSc second year students. Hope we have completed semester third. Now in semester fourth we are studying the paper 9th, fish, gear and craft technology. In this paper 9th, the first point we have seen, and that first point is the classification of fishing gears. Classification of fishing gears. This is the first point from the paper 9th in semester 4th. Again in semester 4th we have studied two papers, paper 8 and paper 9th. We have seen the articles, the points from the paper number 9, classification of fishing gears. In this paper 9th, we have seen all the aspects, all the points which is to be related to gear technology, which is to be related to craft technology or the manufacturing of gears and craft, and which type of gears which is to be used to capturing the fishes. Prior to see these different points, we have seen classification of fishing gear. Fishing techniques have evolved from only a very few basic ideas for capturing fish either singly or in mass. Means fishing techniques have been developed from only very few basic ideas for capturing fish either singly or in a mass or in a large quantities for the benefit of human beings, for the benefit of man. Knowledge of importance of new fishing methods. Knowledge of importance of new fishing methods spread quickly, and their development and testing was carried out in many parts of the world. The mechanization of operation and designing of more effective gear. The mechanization of the operation and designing of more effective gear increased the landing of fish in many parts of the world, as efficiency and mechanization of those craft, those gears which is to be used to capture the fishes in whole India as well as in whole rest of the world. These are to be day by day, these are to be increased, and these are to be day by day effective. To evolve a complete classification of fishing gear, is rather difficult. The basic principle for classification of fishing gear is that how the fishes are being caught. What is the basic idea? What is the basic theme to study the craft and gears is that is how the fishes are being caught, how the fishes are being captured. The whole fishing gear can be grouped into active nets and passive nets, or active gears and passive gears. Means those nets, those gears which is to be operated whole worldwide. These gears, these nets, these are to be divided, these are to be differentiated into two groups, two categories, as a active netting and as a passive netting, or as a active gear and passive gear. Means actively net these are to be used, that net is called as active net. Passively net these are to be used, that net is called as the passive nets. The following classification of fishing gear is in accordance with internationally recognized standards. The following classification of fishing gear is in accordance with the internationally recognized standards recommended by the Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, that is Food and agricultural organization recognize these are to be standard which is to be recommended by these FAO. These definitions and classifications are valid on a worldwide basis for both inland waters as well as on sea waters or the coastal waters, inland sector as well as the marine sectors, as well as for small, medium and large scale fisheries. Not only the inland water, not only the marine water, but it is also depend upon the small scale of water, medium scale of water or the large water bodies, small, medium and large water bodies. These are different methods, these are to be adopted, these are to be used. A brief description complemented by sample illustrations and selected examples of gear drawing are intended to provide sufficient information. Those information these are to be provided, that information these are to be provided. The description of the major categories of gears, these are as follows. Number 1, surrounding nets or the surrounding gears. These nets catch the fish by surrounding them both from the sides and from the underneath, thus preventing them from the escaping in deep waters by diving towards or downwards. That net is called as the surrounding net. What is meant by surrounding net? The nets these are to be catched, these are to be operated, used to capture the fishes from both sides, right side as well as the left side. It is also used as well as the downward side, lower side, and when all these three sides net these are to be operated, these are to be surround to the side, left side, right side and downward side, and fishes these are to be captured, these are to be caught. These fishes these are to be entangled, these are to be encircled in this surrounding area. These fishes these are to be do not escape, remove, that is called as the surrounding nets. Apart from a few exceptions, these nets are surface nets in which float line is supported by numerous floats. Number of these nets these are to be supported, number of these nets these are to be supported by a float line, and these float line these are to be tied by numerous floats, and these floats these are to be keep net tight, and fishes these are to be not escape, these are to be not remove. The net in this category are purse seines, which may be very large, are operated by one or two boats. The most usual case in purse seine operated by a single boat with or without a auxiliary skip. Those auxiliary skip these are to be occur, these are to be now it is to be operated without or with auxiliary skip. The nets these are to be used, these are to be operated, that net is called as the surrounding nets. Surrounding second type of net, surrounding net without purse line or lamprey nets. Net these are to be used, net these are to be adapted, but that net is to be without purse line. Means the net these are to be operated, these are to be used, that net is called as surrounding net without purse line. It is a particular design with the central bunt or bag in the form of a spoon, and two lateral wings make it possible to retain the shoal of fish when the two wings are hauled up at the same time. When bag these are to be tied, when bag these are to be not found, that is, it is a particular design with the central bunt or bag in the form of spoon, and two lateral wings make it possible to retain the shoal of fish when the two wings are hauled up at the same time. Then fishes these are to be caught, fishes these are to be captured by these bag, these spoon. That net is called as the surrounding net without purse line. Third type of net is called as seine nets. These seine nets, these nets which are usually set from a boat, these nets these are to be usually set from a boat, can be operated either from the shore, beach seines, or from the boat itself, that is Danish seine. Means these seine nets these are to be operated, these are to be on boat seine, these are to be operated either on shore side, on beach side, or from the boat itself by a Danish seines, and that net is to be operated on boat or craft. The manner of capture is to surround an area of water with a very long net, with or without a bag at the center. There is a center, bag is present or it is to be not present. The net is usually operated by two types of fixed or its ends, used both for hauling it in and herding the fish. Those nets, these are to be operated, these are to be used, hauled the rope by fishermen on both sides, and net, these are to be stretched, either tying bag or either without bag. Next type of the net is to be beach seines. This category comprises the seines operated from land. This type of category, these are to be comprises the seines operated from the land, which are generally used in shallow waters, near the shore. The bottom and surface act as natural barriers which prevent the fish from escaping from the area enclosed by the net. That net is called as beach seine. This category comprises the seines operated from the land, which are generally used in shallow waters, near the shore, near the bottom, and surface act as natural barriers which prevent the fish from escaping from the area enclosed by the net. That net is called as beach seines. Then next is the boat seines. Boat seines. The type most representative of this category is the Danish seine. The design of these nets, consisting of two wings, a body and a back. It is to be consisting of two wings, a body and a back, is similar in many ways to that of the trawl net. To that of the trawl net, this net is to be similar, this net is to be same to that of the, that is trawl net. Then trawl nets. These are towed nets. These nets, these are to be towed by fishermen, hauled by fishermen, consisting of a cone-shaped body. This net is to be hauled, towed, and it is to be consisting of a cone-shaped body, closed by a bag or cord end, extended at the opening by wings. They can be towed by one or two boats, and according to the type, they are used on the bottom or in the mid-water pelagic. In certain cases, as in trawling for shrimps or flatfish, the trawler can be specially rigged with outrigger canoes or two-toe or even four toes. Two toes or four toes means at the time of towing, these are to be done. These are to be done. It is to be towed either in a day 2 times, or it is to be towed a day even 4 times. Hence, it is to be called as outrigger canoes. It is to be 2 toes. 2 times these are to be operated, or even it is to be operated 4 times. Trawls at the same time, it is to be called as double rigging. It is to be called as double rig. That net is called as the trawl net, and trawl, these are to be towed. Trawl, these are to be operated, hauled, depending upon the efficiency of fishermen. Next type of net is the otter trawl. These trawls towed by a single boat. Their horizontal opening is obtained by other otter boats, and that boat is called as otter trawls. Then drigs, these are gear drigged along the bottom, usually to collect mollusks such as mussels, oyster, collops, clams, etc. For the collecting of mollusks, these drigs, these are to be used, these are to be operated by different types of the water bodies. Lift nets, again it is important net. The fish which may be attracted, the fish which may be attacked by light, by bait, or by any different intensives, and these fishes, these are to be captured, these are to be caught in net consisting of a horizontal netting panel or a bag. That net is called as lift net. After being submerged at the required depth, the net is lifted by hand. Net is to be lifted by mechanically by machines or from the shore or from the boat. This lift, these are to be dumped, these are to be dig into the desired depth, and these are to be removed from the water. The fish which are above the net are retained in the net, and when these are to be entered into the water, again it is to be as it is captured by lift net. This lift net is also another type of netting, means fishes these are to be caught, these are to be captured by such lift net, baited net, or the attracted toward the light. That net is to be used horizontally netting panel or bag. That net is called as the lift net. Then shore operated lift net. Shore operated lift net. These nets are usually operated from stationary illustrations situated along the shore. That net is called as shore operated lift net. Falling gear cast net. These nets, these are to be operated, these are to be used. These nets are cast net from the shore or from the boat. Catch the fish by falling and closing in on them. Their use is usually restricted to the shallow water. That net is called as falling gear net, or it is also called as the cast net. Gill nets and entangling nets. Another type of net is to be gill net or entangling nets. With this type of gear, the fish are catch. These are to be captured by a gill area. Fishes these are to be entangled in the gill region. Entangled in the netting, which may be either single gill nets or it may be either triple trammel nets. According to their design, their structure, fishes these are to be caught. These nets may be used to fish on the surface or in mid water or in the bottom. That net is called as the gill nets or the entangling nets. Next type of net is called as set gill nets, or it is also called as anchored gill net. These nets are fixed to the bottom. These nets are to be fixed into a certain distance, certain above depth, by a distance, by a depth, by a length, and fishes these are to be, that is net these are to be operate in a anchored manner. Net these are to be anchored sufficiently by heavy logs, by heavy neutralizing the buoyancy floats, and net these are to be operate in a particular area, particular depth, and fishes these are to be caught, fishes these are to be captured. That netting is called as set gill nets or the anchored gill net. Next type of netting is the drifting gill nets or the drift gill net. Again, name itself indicates that drifting gill net kept on the surface. When net these are to be operated, net these are to be used on the surface or certain distance below it by numerous floats, and these net these are to be drifting freely with water current. These net these are to be drift separately from one place to another place, from one region to another region, or more often with boat, or which may be attracted, which may be tied to the float, and these are to be drift in a different area. That net is called as a drifting gill net, and fishes these are to be caught, fishes these are to be captured. That gill net is, or that net is called as the drifting gill nets. With this, these are the few classification, with these are the few different types of nets these are to be used, these are to be operated to capture the fishes from both inland sector as well as the marine sector. Hope all these are the different types of gears, different types of nets which is to be operated in inshore water as well as offshore water, in inland water as well as the marine water, and fishes these are to be caught, fishes these are to be captured. This is the first point, first lecture of the classification of gears or classification of the net. We have hope understand. In next page we have see the again another different types of classification of nets. Thank you all of you.